Welcome back to Coin Mojo. Put together a little slide package here from 4/1/22, which was a day I pulled a lot of coins from the bank, and I wanted to share my results. They may not be great, but they're okay. Coin roll hunting is a grind. So here is one of my stops. I picked up several quarter rolls, $half rolls, dollar rolls, additional dollar rolls here, many dollar rolls in this particular stop. In addition, at the next stop I picked up more dollar rolls. I focused mostly on dollars, halves, and quarters. These rolls were breaking open, they were so tattered. I also picked up a bag of $half from a credit union. At another bank I picked up dimes, nickels, a couple penny rolls. And yet another stop, and I always ask for loose $half coins, large dollar coins, small dollar coins, and 90% of the time they ask me if I want $2 bills, and so I do get them at times. So I'll buy them, I'll check them out, look for star notes, reverse ladders, radar notes, that kind of thing, and then I will weed them out and hang on to them or spend them or return them. Yet another stop produced many dime rolls, customer wrapped, some more $half and some more quarters. All of these were picked up on 4/1/22. Again, you can see the numbers that I'm going through. There's at least a couple $1,000s worth of coins. Always ask for the loose dollars and halves. You never know what you're going to find. So, like I said, the search was large. The results were minimal. I did get several keepers here that I'm going to review with you. At the bottom here, you got some W's, some spinning horse quarters, mid 60s and 70s, better condition. This row here represents the silver for the quarters, and these dimes either silver or there's some anomalies on them. This first slide, next slide shows just what I'm up against in Michigan. I get lots of Canadian coins in customer roll, nickels, dimes, quarters. In the nickel department, I kept pretty much anything that was in semi-decent condition and older than 1940 or in the 1950, and some better condition coins that show some mint luster, and some of these are war nickels, or yep, I believe these are war nickels here. This was the best one out of the bunch. It showed a lot of details still. It doesn't look like it had seen much circulation. You can see by this, in some of the images, this one's just straight camera shot. This one is through my bubble magnifier, and this one, again, just a close-up here, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, but not all the way through. The top steps all the way through, scattered across the second and third. Fourth one's almost all the way through, and then the fifth one at the bottom just on the left, and then here on the right I have this little bit of damage here, but all in all, I'd say this was a pretty good find. The obverse shows pretty much AU condition, which I think is really nice, and I only found one silver dime out of all of that I pulled. One of these dimes did have a bad planchet. You see the copper through the top layer of the clad coin or the planchet. Here's just an example of some wide rim, or not wide rim, off center minor broad strikes. I don't know if any of these are really going to be worth anything. I always pull them aside and I do a little more research. This one seems to demonstrate or display the widest, and it's probably only a couple percentage points off center. Not bad. All of my silver, well, except for these two down here, I have 5 40% silvers, all mid-60s, obviously, 69, 67, 68, 65, 67. Not even sure why I added this 88 in the picture. Maybe I thought it was demonstrating some mint luster, but it doesn't look like it from the picture. 190% silver here, 1964, and an 82 no FG, which is the artist initials on the back of the coin. Some better condition Kennedy hash with showing lots of mint luster. And these are some of the dollar coins that I kept. These are the newer Sacagawea or new series of dollar coins in American Innovation. And I'm just showing you what these are selling for on eBay. Recent sales. Yep, they were in pretty good shape, so I'm going to hang on to a couple. It was the first ones that I found in circulation, so I'm hang on to a couple of them anyway. This is the 82 no FG. Now you can probably see the FG real light, but it's very, very light. As a matter of fact, I didn't really notice it until I took the photograph and zoomed in on it. It's hard to tell here. Right? Maybe this was the 88 that I thought I'd seen. Okay, in addition to keeping silver and other error coins, I always pull aside mint condition and smaller die chip errors and other coins to do a deep dive later on. So out of all of that, I did pull 3 rolls of quarters to look at further. In addition to some of the silver, I did get another. Now it's not the first one I found like this. A 2000 Massachusetts quarter, platinum plated, and here's a set that I found selling on eBay. As you can see, it looks like it has a silver rim, and it's not silver, right? Because it's a Philadelphia minted coin, and they do not produce silver coins in Philadelphia. Here are my silver finds, 364s and a 63, and 2 Canadians. Actually, these 2 Canadians came out of one customer roll coin. Customer roll, $10 roll. And these 4 just were scattered across the multitudes of rolls that I did find. So here's a little information on the silver Canadian quarters. They did run 80% silver until 1967, and then there's a transition year in 67-68 where they ran 50% composition of silver, and then after that they were nickel. And so they silver quarters won't stick to a magnet, so you can always test your quarters, anything older than 68. So in 68 you kind of got to do the magnet test, right? Because you could get a copper nickel quarter, or you can get the silver. So silver's so obvious when you see that compared to a copper nickel because they are almost white next to them. In addition to silver, again, I always pull aside some of the nicer condition, mid-60s and mid-70s. There's actually a higher value on an 82p and an 82p and D, and an 86 Washington quarters carry a premium. And some of the earlier 60s after the silver, if you can find some in really good condition, it's worth hanging on to. Here's the first of 3 spitting horse quarters that I found from Delaware, 1999p. This one sold for $46 on eBay recently, April 12th. This one is one of the largest ones that I've ever found, and I have found dozens of these over the last 2 years. Just looking for the W quarters and silver, you come across these things, so you got to kind of start paying attention and looking for this stuff. This one sold for $46 on eBay, so I think I've got one that's pretty close to to matching up with what this one sold for. The second one that I have also has a rather long crack, but it only goes from the snout down to the edge. It's not as profound, but it matches up with this one that sold for $8 on eBay as well. And then here's even less profound, and it's just barely visible to the naked eye, but you can see it. You got to kind of tilt the coin in the light and you'll see these spitting or cracks. It's actually a die crack. This one hasn't developed as far as the first two. So this one did sell for $410 recently. In addition to looking for the W quarters, which were 2019 and 2020, you got to look for die cracks or die chips. There's multiple die chips on quarters out of Philadelphia. This one is the San Antonio and Philadelphia Mint, and it's got a die chip right on top of the upper left-hand corner of the coin. In addition, there's die chips that catch up in here. I've seen those. I've actually found a couple of those, but this one sold for $2 on eBay. Not bad. 8 times face. Here's a Washington crossing the Delaware. Multiple die chips on this coin. Many through the hat, bird's nest, full crown, half crown, quarter crown, and then this bird's nest on this side. Sometimes there's even a little bit chipping here. This coin had such a, and this is my personal opinion, had such a deep draw that the sharp edges on the dies tend to chip away and crack. And you may not know this, but in Philadelphia they have several machines that are running coins out at a clip of 40,000 an hour times 7 machines. So they have multiple dies, and so there's going to be multiple die chip errors. This is one of them. This is another. Not the same error, same location though. Here's another error. Not the same because it didn't start here and then develop into this. It starts down here and opens up to this. So again, many different dies producing these coins. So you'll have many varieties of errors. Here are the 3 West Point quarters that I received or found, not received. That's the front of them, all in fairly decent. You can see scuffing and stuff, so they are in circulation. March of 22 is 2 years removed from the West Point 2019 and a year removed from 2021 West Point quarter releases, and so naturally you're going to get somewhere, but they're still surprisingly in good shape, and there is some dirt up in here, up in this corner here. They're getting harder and harder to find in boxes nowadays, and you should expect to find more dirt and wear on these coins. This one is the 2019 Lowell, the 2020 American Samoa, the Salt River Bay, and I think this one's probably commanding more of a, well, let's see, I think I did put it together. Yeah, here we go. $17 on this one, but this one may be in better shape. These two here, 18 and pretty much $18 a piece, so they're still selling pretty good on eBay. The Lowell is selling for anywhere from 13 to 18 depending on condition. Again, condition's key. The Salt River Bay seems like it's a little bit less valued and is still pulling for 18 bucks for a quarter. Not too bad. $16 or $17. I also, like I said, to pull aside the better condition coins, and they stack them, and then someday I will go through and weed them out and try to do something with them, trade or whatever, see what I can get at the coin shows. This one seemed to display lots of mint luster, so I'm hanging on to it. In the nickels, I pulled a 1953S. Unfortunately, the photograph did not come out, but it looks like this S does display. It looks like there's, again, I need a microscope to really start getting into this detail of repunched, overstrikes, double strikes. So, I thought that was kind of neat. Here is a kind of a neat coin right here. Really surprised when I found this one, a 1985 P nickel with a pretty large cut on the edge here. And I researched it on eBay and found a matching nickel that had the same cut that sold here just in March. And it got $25 with 4 bids. That's pretty good payday for a 5-cent coin. Here's another example of a cut on the upper left-hand corner of 83p that drew $28 and 5 bids. This one, very rare find for me. I've never found an off-centered coin this quarter this much. So this Georgia 1999 Georgia State quarter is showing what seems to be a 10% off-center or broad stripe. I did kind of an overlay here to show you kind of what the obverse or the elements or the details of the coin have shifted, and the rim of the coin basically is left behind on the lower left. So the outside rim and then the inside devices have shifted by about 10% from the back of the coin, or from the die to the planchet or the blank, and so you get the letters falling off the edge. Here is 5 examples of the very same coin that have sold on eBay recently. This one here sold for $5.60, and it could be not that it's, maybe it's the front or the back of the coin that's important. Here you can see the date on the front of the state quarters. The date isn't apparent, so maybe that's the reason why this one only sold for $5.60. I asked my own self. This one is off-centered, probably less than 10%, but still drew $32. This one also $23. This one $54. It seems like it's more than 10% off-centered. You can see much of the design has fallen off the edge. This one's a little less off-center and drew $20, but it was a buy it now. 19 bids for this one, $54. 1 bid, 13 bids on this one, and 4 bids here, so they're very popular. Well, again, thanks again for checking out my video. Got more stuff coming. If you like some of the images that you saw, or if you happen to have found the spitting horse or W quarters, you want to tell your story, go ahead and comment and share. Give me those 4 clicks if you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, or hit the bell for notifications. Go ahead and do that. Thanks again for coming and seeing my coin roll hunting adventure. See you next time. Coin Mojo out.